More and more of us are deciding to have our children later.
Be careful.
But there are some mums who just can't wait. Meet the baby-faced mums.
Who's me? People I don't know me as the girl that's got a child at 15.
Swapping nights out with mates.
I think this definitely needs to go now.
For nights in with nappies.
So tired.
But are they ready for what lies ahead?
Never had that much responsibility. I think the most responsibility I've had is my hamster.
Coming up, one mum-to-be is feeling the pressure.
You know, like when you get hunger cramps, feels like that, but the food's like kicking you.
And others are struggling to hold their nerve.
You just have to get on with it. Just like nerve escaping. Don't drop them, for God's sake. Do not drop the baby. I didn't ever think that I would get to this point where at 21 I would be having a baby. I think it's going to be absolutely terrifying. Never had that much responsibility. I think the most responsibility I've had is my hamster.
In Newcastle, 21-year-old mum-to-be Sammy Davidson is due to give birth in 2 months' time to a baby boy she's named Archie. For Sammy, it's important to be well prepared.
I'm packing my hospital bag to get it all sorted because I'm terrified that he's going to come early and I'm not going to be ready. I'm so scared for when I go in, like when I actually go into labour because, well, I've never done it before. You hear all the absolute horror stories and stuff like that, and people saying, you know, oh, this happened to me and stuff. I'm like, oh God, I don't want to know that. I don't think I could solely say that I am most certainly ready to have a baby and be someone's mum.
Only a year ago, party girl Sammy was a face about town hitting the Newcastle club scene.
I was out every weekend, couldn't keep us in the house. I was out Fridays, Saturdays, Thursdays and Sundays if I could. I used to do all that and I'm like, God, I'm even frightened now to have, you know, a bottle of Wicked, like, well, obviously before I got pregnant. Like, how did I manage it?
With her dancing shoes packed away, Sammy now lives with the father of her unborn baby, 27-year-old unemployed chef, Dean.
Take this, yeah.
Ooh, food. Right. That's a giant ass pizza. Oh, it's really nice. We met back in January last year. I got invited to go over to his for a party by one of my friends. Went over and been inseparable ever since. Oh, it looks really good. Do you want as well?
You have something?
No, I want all yours. I think when my child starts getting a bit bigger and starts like being able to have like solid food and stuff like that, I think eating habits are going to change then. So we can like blend food down and you can have the same as what we're having. Obviously, you know, not going to be giving him a vindaloo anytime soon, but you know, stuff like soup.
Yeah.
It didn't take long for Sammy and Dean to realise they were meant for each other. And 7 months into their relationship, Dean decided to make it official.
I'd say to him, if you want to propose to us, don't do it in front of people. Do it when it's just me and you, because I couldn't handle everyone just staring at us and all the embarrassment. We went out for a late Halloween party, and then over the speaker overhead was, oh, I think Dean has something to ask Sammy. And I was like, no. And then he asked us. I was like, no, he can't be doing this to us now. But I said yes.
Barely a month after deciding to tie the knot, Sammy discovered that she and her fiancé were about to become a family.
No one really ever thought that I would have kids. Not this early anyway. They always thought that I'd wait until I'd been at uni and got my degree and stuff like that. I always thought I was the one with the head on my shoulders, as they would say.
For now, Sammy's had to put any career plans on hold.
I still do want to go back because I want to be a teacher. I always wanted to be a teacher, and I don't think I should have to give that up. I'm having a baby. It doesn't mean I can't carry on doing the things I want to do. He's not mine. I knew that I wanted to have a baby being young, but not as young as I am now. You know, when you see moms and they pick up their children and they're so happy and they're at the park and they're doing things like that, it just makes you think, oh wow, it looks nice being a mum.
21-year-old working mum Nakisha Powell lives in a single-room flat in North London with her 1-year-old boy Amari. She moved in 6 months after he was born and immediately felt at home.
When I first came here, I was like, oh my God, it's an estate. Everyone's going to be so rough and rude, but everyone was really nice. They were like, oh, you're new here, where'd you live? Here's our shop. You do cashback, isn't it?
Yeah. How's Murray?
Murray, say hi.
Murray?
Alright, thank you. See you soon.
Take your money?
Oh yeah, oh my God, thanks. Alright, we're going home.
My life before having Amari, had time for myself, spend money on myself. But obviously it's different now. I would like to go on a holiday. I would like to go out, like anywhere, even if it's a restaurant, more. Just to socialise more. The most of socialising I do is on WhatsApp.
After her part-time day job at the local nursery, there's a full-time job at home. But for Nakisha, being a mum is second nature.
No, you just basically pour it in and put the hot water in. Leave it for 3 to 5 minutes. Normally I do chicken, but I can't be asked. Mari, come out of there. Most of my cousins, they're younger than me, so I've always been around children sort of thing. Uh-oh. Kind of know how to like make them smile. Come. I'm not boasting, but I think I have that natural sort of attachment. I'll just cool it down for you, but so you can have some. Mari, gonna have yum-yums? Growing up as a girl, like, you're just introduced to baby dolls and dollies, so I used to just pretend I'm feeding them, and everything seemed so easy. I was just like, oh yeah, like this is fun, putting them in their prams and just strolling it around. So it kind of influenced wanting to have a baby. You like rice, don't you? Rice, couscous, whatever. Well, I remember writing in my diary, I had a few diaries, and it used to say like, how many kids would you like? I can't remember, but one time I must have said about 6. Yeah, to me now that's a lot. I think 1's enough. Oh gosh, couscous, why are you done? I wanted him to sleep by himself, but first he had a crib and then he grew out of it, so I didn't really buy anything else. So he just sleeps with me for the time being. Plus the space is like limited, so I just think it's easier for him to sleep with me.
Today, Nakisha's mum Shirley has come to visit her daughter and grandson and check up on how they're doing.
Come on. Do you want your toy box, Bubs?
Wow. Seeing them together, it's quite sweet, really, because she is a good mum.
Look at that. B-I-N-G-O.
When she told me she was going to have a baby, I was just worried that she might not be able to cope.
Sing, Amari. What song are you singing?
As you can see, he rules the roost. All right.
Careful with that.
I would have liked for her to wait a bit longer, not to be married or anything, just to have a bit of life on her own, sort of without any kids.
Right, do you want to take his shoes off? Been in them all day.
Pee-wee.
Once you're mum, you realise it's not just the good sides, taking them shopping, dressing them, doing their hair, playing.
It's not that easy now. You're making it sound
mainly
so,
that.
You're making it sound
Come in,
easy.
play a bit.
You've got to attack him to sleep.
Yeah, but that's what they're doing, it. Play, eat, bath, bed. Innit, Mari?
What?
Where's Dada?
Nakisha spends most of her time looking after her baby boy by herself, even though she's still in a relationship with Amari's dad, Ifani. At just 17, it was love at first sight.
When I first saw him, he had like a hat or his hood up, and I just noticed his eyes. Like, we're spending a lot of time together, and obviously feelings started building up.
As a professional footballer, Ifani spends most of his time in training, but Nakisha's mum doesn't think he's enough of a team player.
I know he does training and that for football, but I wish he was there more often and being more on hand.
I guess we're both trying to focus on different things. Like, he's trying to focus on his career, and I'm just focusing on being a mum.
Coming up, Nakisha's got a lot on her plate.
Funny. Do you want beans? Oh, do you know how to wipe the stove?
And in Newcastle, Sammy has a nagging medical question.
I just don't understand how something that big is meant to fit through something that small.
Yeah.
21-year-old Hannah Little lives in Truro, Cornwall. Hannah's only 6 weeks away from giving birth to a baby girl.
I was very shocked when I found out I was pregnant. Women have been doing this for years, thousands of years, millions of years, so they can do it, I can.
Hannah lives with her 19-year-old sister Charlotte and mum Deborah. Their dad left and moved abroad when she was only 2, so mum brought up the girls by herself. Now Hannah is about to follow the same path.
I find the prospect of being a single mum a little bit daunting, but my mum did it, and she's my inspiration, really. If she can do it, I can do it. You should be making me too. Yeah.
She's always wanted to be a mum ever since she was little, and she's now getting her wish.
Shop assistant Hannah has always loved children and qualified as a childminder, but she soon realised looking after other people's kids wasn't for her.
It was a lot of pressure from parents and a lot of pressure to follow guidelines. And I thought, childcare should be following your instincts, really. I've always wanted to look after children and be a mum, so this is the one thing I can excel at.
Today, Hannah is out baby shopping with her mum and sister. They've been helpfully at her side throughout her pregnancy.
Oh my gosh, the knitted jumper.
I know. I need this in my life.
Hannah never thought she could have children of her own. When she hit puberty, she developed endometriosis and needs constant checkups. It's a condition that can affect fertility.
I was sitting in a doctor's office and I just thought I was getting normal blood test results, and they just told me straight away. They just said, well, believe it or not, you are pregnant. And I was completely like, what's going on? I just started crying. I didn't know how to feel. Oh, nursing tops. They'll be handy. I was very shocked when I found out I was pregnant. I mean, not only did I have low chances because of endometriosis, but I was also on birth control, so it's truly a miracle.
Do you think she'll have dolls?
Yeah, they're so sweet.
My first thoughts was panic, and I knew immediately that Hannah would want to keep the baby. I'd rather she had waited until she was a little bit more mature.
Then I thought, you know what, I can do this. And I started to feel quite happy about it.
Now separated from her baby's dad, Hannah made her mind up early on to bring up her baby alone.
We were only together for about 10 months before I actually found out I was pregnant, so it was a bit of a shock for both of us. Ideally, yes, I would have liked to have been in a stable relationship because I have questions that I want my dad to answer. I know she's going to have questions. When we were together, he was a good person. He was good to me and he was good to be in a relationship with, so I think this is going to be a positive thing for her. It would be better for her to know everything about it than not know everything about it, because then at least if she had questions, she'd know all the answers to the questions instead of wondering what if. And it could be, she could come up with any explanation in her head as to what happened, and it could be awful. Like, she could think that she wasn't loved. Amazing how an accident can put you in a position in your life where you were probably meant to be.
It's early morning in North London. Both the men in Nakisha's life are still in bed as she gets ready for work.
Sometimes I wake up 6:30, but if I wake up after 6:30, then I'm definitely going to be late. It can be a bit difficult, especially trying to get out of the house. Like, I have to get myself ready and Amari ready. And we could be, 1 minute we could be on time, and then it just takes something little for us to just be late. Brush my teeth. He's a good dad, like, you know how it was to entertain Amari, and he picks him up from nursery sometimes and picks him up from work. So he's there for us in that sense.
Just basically doing the same things that my father has done, just taking little things and now doing the same thing and trying to give him better. Knowing that you've got a little one to look after now and seeing smiles on his face.
Though she loves having a Farney around, Nakisha sometimes needs more.
Sometimes he could be lazy. Like, when I come in, I know that, okay, Mari needs a snack. Mari might need a nappy change. And he'll just be on his iPad or whatever, and now and then maybe do the odd nappies, but I'm more involved. We kind of go through some on and offs. We argue and then we don't see each other that much. So it's a bit hot and cold sometimes.
What's the time? We leave at 8:20. Maybe we could squeeze in breakfast.
Do you want bacon? Should I do it?
Push in with time.
Quickly. Funny. Do you want beans? Are you sure? Do you know how to work the stove?
3 minutes. tired or stressed out. You just have to get on with it. It's like no escaping.
With no time to spare, Nakisha's on her way to the nursery where she works. Luckily, Amari goes there too.
Yeah, just rush in. I've got 2 minutes. I'm going to do some running now. Alright, bye. It's 8:30. I'll just be a few minutes late. Okay. Morning. Come quickly, Bubs. See you later. What should we put out today, Rita? Yeah, but the morning is more quiet activities, isn't it? It does get too much sometimes. Like someone said to me, oh, how do you do it in a nursery? Isn't it like working with 100 Amaris? And I was like, yeah, it is a little bit. And what's that, Frankie? What's that letter? It is an apple. A for apple, isn't it? There we go. And everyone's doing puzzles now. Obviously, I have to think about Amari all the time. Hardly have time for myself. Hardly have time to, like, have a bath by myself. And it's a big challenge. You have to be organised and patient. Yeah, it's a lot of change.
In Newcastle, Sammy is off for a bit of pampering with best friend Emily. Nicola, Sammy's future mother-in-law, runs the salon, and she's an expert in beauty and babies.
So you've got to continue doing this once you've had the baby, or?
Apparently you're not meant to have like nails or anything on when you've got a baby, just in case you scratch them and stuff.
Yeah. You've just got to think, right? You've got how long ago now? 11 weeks. 11 weeks. It's going to fly by.
At one point I barely looked like I had anything there, and then boom. It's so pretty. I can't believe this is my own nails. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have quite a lot of friends who are young mothers. Like there's only, I can say, a handful of people who in my school group who don't have kids.
I don't think it really matters how old you are, because kids, when they're born, they're not born with a manual. You're not told what to do.
I think I had my first when I was 20. It worked for me. I had 3 kids altogether and I brought them all up by myself. And I'm really good friends with all of mine, as well as being a parent. So I get to go out with them now.
Yeah. But you haven't liked pregnancy though, have you? Some people like...
I love being pregnant.
My mum did, she said she loved it. But some people just don't take it.
I think it's what mainly like it was the morning sickness and stuff like that. I couldn't deal with being sick all the time, because it wasn't like it was morning, noon and night. And then the hopping and the constantly feeling tired and stuff like that. And I'm so petrified. I think it's really going to be painful, especially because obviously I don't want to have like perfectly diamorphine. I don't want to have an epidural.
Oh, you have everything that's going.
You say that
like, it's
now.
great, just have anything that's going.
I just think I don't want to miss any of it.
So you've got Dean with the video on his phone?
I just don't understand how something that big is meant to fit through something that small.
Yeah.
Right, thank you! Bye! I don't do pain at all. How I'm going to manage labour is going to be absolutely beyond me. I think I'm going to be absolutely disastrous.
Still seeking a bit of advice and reassurance, Sammy turns to her own mother, who was also once a young mum herself.
By the time she was 21, she had me, my brother and my sister, so I'm 21 and I'm having a baby. I'm like, oh Christ, no. How did she do it? She's mental.
How many times have I told you when you were young you needed to go to the cycling before you left the house? She's probably jumping on your bladder like a trampoline. I made it up as I went along. I didn't know what I was doing. I was still young myself, still stupid.
I know. I was like, it's weird, so I'm walking down the street because I don't look like an adult. Yeah. I still look really young, and people are like looking at us like, oh, that's disgusting, a young mum.
The looks I used to get were disgraceful, and like I had a really, really horrible doctor. He was a mean old man. And he go, 17, pregnant. And I went, that's got nothing to do with you. And he went, oh well, children having children, I'm not a child. And it's, there's times it's hard and everything, but you'll never want to go back. Like, you'll never regret it.
Despite the reassurances, Sammy is still filled with anxiety about her baby.
Scared if she's not going to be able to do it, and whether the baby's going to like her, or if she drops them.
Don't drop them, for God's sake, do not drop the baby.
She doesn't want him to cry really badly, and everybody keeps telling her that it's going to scream the house down.
I worry about absolutely everything. I worry that when Archie gets older, he's my haters. I worry that he's just so tiny. It's my first baby. I don't know. I feel like I can barely look after myself. Sometimes I'm not going to be able to look after a baby.
In Truro, Cornwall, Hannah is preparing for the arrival of her baby, and she's making sure all her friends know exactly what colour to buy.
I think pink is a necessity if you're having a girl. It's just one of those must-do things. I don't think I could have chosen another colour, really. I just had to do pink.
With the nursery ready and baby Zoe's birth a month away, Hannah and sister Charlotte are preparing to celebrate with Hannah's old school friends.
There we go. We like everything to be pretty and pink. Lovely.
Do you want all of these animals on the table?
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
I've got chicks first. That one's not going to stand up. It's going to be like this for the next 18 years. Every time we see something cute for her, we're going to buy it.
I know.
Most of Hannah's friends are either at work or uni, and it's a rare treat for them all to get together. Today, Hannah's the belle of the ball.
Oh, yay. Oh, how cute is that? I'm the first one in our friendship group to have a baby, so they're all, it's very new to them as it is to me, and they're all very excited, and she's kicking my hips, so.
What does that feel like?
You know, like when you get hunger cramps. Feels like that, but the food's like kicking you. That's the page everyone's going to sign, because it says showered with love.
Do you want me to write?
Something cute and meaningful, like, you're cute.
How old are we going to be when she reads this?
She's going to get it on her 18th birthday.
You're going to be 40.
Yeah, I'm going to be 40 years old. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, they are adorable. Oh my gosh, that's so random. Joey bunny. Born in 2015. Look at how that on the door. Oh my gosh, that is so cute.
Coming up, some baby-faced mums hit rock bottom.
I want to have a break because I think I'm getting a bit, what's the word? Miserable? Yeah, miserable.
And others feel on top of the world.
I just looked at her and I could not believe that I had just had that tiny little baby.
For Nakisha in North London, the reality of juggling work, home and looking after baby Amari is far from her dream of a perfect family life.
Amari, come out of there. Uh-oh. Amari, ow, that's not nice. Sometimes I feel like a single mum, because whereas like when you see like TV shows, you see like them together in the night and they wake up in the morning and they're doing things together more. Whereas I get the odd days where we would do things together, but mainly it's just me.
Mum Shirley's biggest worry is that her daughter may follow in her own footsteps.
It's time to wait, he has to wait.
Get on here. I've had some horrible relationships, and I just don't want her to fall in the categories that I've fallen into.
It's time for a heart-to-heart.
Ready? I'm fine.
There you go.
I want to have a break because I think I'm getting a bit like, I'm a bit, what's the word?
Miserable?
Yeah, miserable.
I know you.
Did you know I was miserable?
Yeah, I did. Maybe it's old-fashioned, but my attitude is Amari's got a dad.
Yeah,
I'll
let you speak.
Yeah. Amari has got a dad, and at the end of the day, he does not work or train 7 days a week.
He does. It's proper intense.
I just want somebody that would love her for her and treat her like how she should be treated. Your facial expression says a lot.
He's trying to go hard at football so he can make a better life for obviously him and his family and Amari.
Are you part of that?
Yeah, he says it.
You're saying eventually you and him are going to get married?
We might live together, and then obviously he will be helping out more and he will be there.
I mean, you're a mum now.
My main mission is Amari. His
I know that. You show
mission
that.
is his career.
You only have one life. Make the best of it and enjoy it. You're still young.
In Truro, Cornwall, Hannah is going out for lunch with her mum and sister. They'll both be right by her side at the birth.
We've always lived together, just the three of us. We've always muddled along really well together. We are very close and generally happy.
I guess it wasn't really surprising when it came to me doing it by myself. Like, I know we've had a lovely childhood, but I thought it would be nice for there to be a mother and a father.
I'm a single mother and I brought my 2 daughters up on my own, so I do have some experience of the reality, and I know how difficult that is. So that was my worry for Hannah.
You've got the best role model of a single mum.
Yeah.
Us littles do it, we always get through it, and you'll never be alone.
Yeah. I suppose it's better than being miserable with someone who doesn't care.
You 2 have never had a father, so you've turned out pretty okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, she's our little baby now, so I wouldn't want anyone else to like interfere or get involved.
We don't want to share her. She's ours.
She's ours.
In Newcastle, anxious mum-to-be Sammy is out shopping for baby Archie with friends Emily and Rachel. Money is tight and she's having to count her pennies.
I'm looking for just boys' clothes. You want to go north to 3 months? Oh, yes, so cute. I didn't think this time last year I'd be looking at baby clothes.
Just 99.
The little dungarees, little gingham ones, yeah. So I absolutely love the gingham dungarees.
That's
so cute. Christening outfit.
Yeah, little tails on the back.
That reminds me of something out of the labyrinth.
My daughter's just had a baby boy, and she always has to take an extra outfit out with her.
Just in case.
Just because, you know, he has his flowers, or he has his other end going, so you have to have a change all the time.
I wish I was a multi-millionaire, so I could just buy everything. Now, just be like,
Cash-strapped Sammy will have to make do with only one outfit for baby Archie today.
I think I'm going to get that one.
That one?
Yeah, up to 3 months.
That's lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
With baby Archie's arrival due within weeks, it's a tough time for Dean to be unemployed.
He really wants to go back into work. He really does. He doesn't like being out of work. It'll be easier for us because obviously with him not working, we spend a lot of our time together, so it does get stressful.
Dean's determined to turn their fortunes around.
Picking me clothes to wear to my interview on Monday. Not sure which tie to wear or anything like. Been about a year now. The old place I was working at went into liquidation. Now obviously we've got a baby on the way, we're going to need a lot more money.
Lucky for Sammy, she's in line for all the family hand-me-downs.
It's just basically getting everything that he needs. Little knickknacks and stuff like that. Things that are going to make our lives a little bit easier when having the baby monitor, stuff like that. Everything that he needs for his nursery, everything, all the extra little stuff that he's like, he's going to need a parasol. I've priced up how much that's going to be, priced up how much his nightlight's going to be, and it all like adds up very quickly. That's going to be obviously a worry, you know, obviously paying all the bills. We've got this one of his Nana Nicola. And we've got his cot, which was my niece's. Like, she drew all over it, like, all over there with ink, all over the front with ink. So we were sitting trying to scrub it and stuff like that to get the ink off. We've got a second hand up, one of our friends. So it was a lot of, let's hope we have a boy, because we have a blue pram. It just means me maybe going back to work a bit earlier than I wanted to, not going back to college or something like that. At the end of the day, the most important thing is being able to support my son, whether that's me being a teacher or just working in a shop. I never wanted to be, like, on benefits and stuff like that whilst having a kid, because I thought, you know, I can't, like, give him everything. But I always wanted to have more for him than what I might not be able to give him. It feels a bit rubbish.
In Truro, it's the day that Hannah's been waiting for.
So I'm 14 weeks pregnant today. It's my due date, finally. Like, physically, I don't feel anything that lets me know that she's going to come today or anytime soon. But who knows?
4 days later, Hannah is in hospital, hoping that she's finally in full labour. But not everything goes to plan.
In a minute, I'm just writing this one out.
Hannah woke up at 2 a.m. She was getting contractions. 10 hours later, we arrive at the hospital to find Hannah's 2 centimetres dilated. So for her comfort, I think it's best, and staff think it's best if we go back home again. I think she's disappointed and a bit upset. We thought this was it. Never mind, she's on the way. She's just taking her time. Come back later when things have progressed a little bit more. Come back again and try again.
Later that night, after 10 hours of labour with mum and sister by her side, Hannah gave birth to her baby girl Zoe.
Which way? This way. And are you comfortable? No. I
I feel pretty shattered, to be honest. I mean, I've been labouring since Sunday night, and it's Tuesday today, so I haven't really got any more than 3 hours sleep, but the adrenaline's keeping me up. Like, I just can't stop looking at her, even though I desperately need to sleep. At first, the contractions just felt like bad period cramps. But as soon as they started spreading, it was like someone's trying to pull you one way and then pull you another way at the same time. Oh my gosh, we just all burst into floods of tears when she came out. I just looked at her and I could not believe that I had just had that tiny little baby. And I couldn't believe that she was mine and I get to take her out of here and no one's going to stop me.
In North London, Nakisha is finally spending some family time with son Amari and his dad Ifani.
Step back a bit, Bubs. Sometimes we can be really happy and we're like having fun, being silly, and then it'll be a really good thing.
Oh, you just got to chase them the whole way.
Yeah, Daddy.
Come, let's go play football, come. Amari, come. It's not every day I can see my son, so sometimes she feels like she's on her own. So when I do spend time with her, I try and do the best I can, really. That's it. I only ever wanted to be a footballer. If you only want to do one thing, you've got to work the hardest at it. But she has to realise sometimes that's the sacrifices you have to make.
Sometimes I look at things and I just think, like, I could either just stay as I am now, like going to work in the nursery every day, or thinking about what can I do that's maybe something out of the box and be exciting and different. But I just don't know. Yeah, so I'm just taking each day as it comes for now.
I'm very determined at what I want to do. Obviously, if I get to where I need to, everyone will be more comfortable in the situation that we're in now. It makes everyone's lives better. My parents, mine, my son, everyone really. Nice big house. Probably 7-bedroom, I hope. Couple cars. That's the dream, though, isn't it?
This is the big kids' playground, Bubs.
Oh. My son. I just want him to know that if I make it, he's going to have a good life. You're supposed to give your children a better life than you had.
Kick! Yay!
I guess when you're younger, you just think like outside of the box. You think, oh yeah, I want to be on TV, I want to be a singer, I want to be a dancer, an actor, and all that. But then when you grow older, you realise like to think in the box.
Oh God.
Coming up, young mum's fears lead to tears.
I really don't want to feel them. You're not going to feel them. You're not going to feel them.
And others find their calling.
Yeah, it's good. I can dedicate my life to something.
Sammy and Dean have been preparing for the arrival of baby Archie, and the hard-up couple have got some good news. Dean got the chef's job.
Do you realise you can't wear that all day, right?
Well, I know. I'm in the kitchen.
Should we get you like a little hairnet?
Eh?
Get you a little hairnet.
I've got a proper
I
shirt.
think you look really dapper. Good luck. We'll see when you get home.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Dean's just left over his first day at the new job. It is a relief because it's like, right, okay, I know that, we can put money away, we can save. As well as that, we can get everything we need for the baby. It's so much less stressful than it was trying to do everything or nothing, really.
With baby Archie due in 7 weeks, it's good timing on the job front. It's at least one worry less for Sammy. So Sister Lauren has decided to celebrate with a sneaky baby shower.
Can you say? Action on. Ow! Like, go, pray really hard.
After the piñata shower, Sammy is showered with gifts.
Oh! Nakisha thinking of this. Is that a little swimsuit? Yeah. Watching.
considering you've done pretty well, haven't you, really, to be honest? You've got
loads. It just makes everything a lot less stressy because it's like, oh god, I need to buy this, I need to buy that, I need to buy this, I need to buy this, and I need that. Especially when you're on a low budget.
I mean, yes, it's lovely that you've got all of these, but it's not about this. This is not what Archie wants. He's not bothered if he's got an extra 4 teddies. That doesn't mean anything to him. He's just happy. He'll be happy to have loving parents, a loving home, and a loving family.
Despite Lauren's sisterly advice, Sammy's still got mum-to-be nerves.
I feel like I'm going to get to the point and I'm going to say, I can't do this. I don't have much faith in myself in that sense. Like, I really don't know if I'm going to be able to do it.
It's not as scary as you might think it's going to be, and it's not as hard as you might think it's going to be. You'll be totally fine.
I just feel so young.
And no matter what anybody tells you, you're more than capable of doing this.
I really don't want to fail them.
You're not going to fail them. You're not going to fail them.
I got
makeup on my top.
For the past, 7 months, it's all felt, oh yes, I'm pregnant, I'm having a baby. It's all went so fast, but now it's like, whoa. Like, I feel like I need to take like a step back and look at my own life and be like, okay, assess the situation. I thought it felt real this morning in these past couple of days, but now it's like, oh god, I'm having a baby.
In Truro, after 4 days in hospital, Hannah has finally returned home with her newborn baby Zoe.
She's a week and 1 day old today. I'm pretty exhausted. I think it hit me more when I got home. Thank you. Oh. 1 minute. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Don't want it leaking everywhere again. Good girl. At first, I was getting up at night every hour or so because she was demand feeding. We had a bit of a problem between breast and bottle. But now I'm exclusively pumping for her and she's taking the bottle. I'm going to grab a teat from the steriliser.
It wasn't just going to be as easy as plopping on the boob and getting milk in her, which is what people expect to happen. We were in hospital until from Tuesday to Friday trying to get her on the boob to get enough milk in her, and it still is a struggle.
I tried to mentally prepare myself for the lack of sleep. I thought because I was young and, you know, I'd had all-nighters before that it would be no problem, but yeah, it's hard. Good girl. It's quite overwhelming at first, getting used to all these new emotions and getting used to someone so tiny being number one in your life. It's more difficult than I expected it was going to be. I'm just glad I have the help around me. I will not be able to do this by myself. I don't know how some people do. I know I'm not in the most ideal situation, but at least I have my family and I have my home. It's like a production line. It's like the circle of life at the moment with all the bits and bobs that need to be done for her.
It'll bring new challenges when we both go back to work for us and Hannah, so we'll see what's around the corner.
It's kind of like Zoe has 3 mums at the moment. We're like the 3 musketeers, you know.
It's quite easy just to sit here and watch her.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's okay.
So she has loads of people that love her anyway.
Good, Steve.
We don't need no man. I feel like I've already fallen into the role of being a mum, and I feel like it suits me. It's like I've been waiting for this to happen, really. Now I feel like I'm going to be really good at it. So yeah, it's good. I can dedicate my life to something. There we go. Look at that pouch. Yeah. That was a big bird.
Next time on Baby-Faced Mums, a young mum tries to share the load.
It's going to be fun.
You can do it.
Thanks.
And a bit of a shock.
How does it affect your sex life? About how long after, like, you laboured?
It depends, because women, well, they do say about 12 weeks.
12 weeks?
Things are hotting up in Are You the One with a love triangle and a virgin tonight at 10. Next though, Undercover Benefits Cheat, the latest episode.